present to you a very unpopular opinion. So in order to protect myself from it, I have a hate shield on my face.
That smile always on his face, even though he has some things to say about this one. Wow, after 8 long years, we potentially have what might be maybe one of the most overdue albums, I would say, from one of the biggest metal bands in the world. Metallica finally puts out an album 8 years after Death Magnetic. Took them a really long time to do this one.
Yeah.
But, you know, we finally got Hardwired To Self-Destruct. So, I mean, what are our thoughts on this one? It took them a long time to put out an album, so they finally put one out here, a double album with over 80 minutes of music.
Right. It is a lot.
It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to digest here.
Yeah.
I'll go right out of the gate here and say this is better than Death Magnetic. In every aspect, I think this is better than Death Magnetic, and that's with respect.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
That's with respect to that album, because I like Death Magnetic a lot. Yeah. Far surpassed what they did on that album.
Yeah,
in a number of ways.
I'd agree with that. I think the songwriting is better, but I still am not a very big fan of this album. I just have been in the mindset that Metallica should have, and I'll catch a bunch of shit for this, and I just don't really care. I just really think that while I respect what they've done for music, and you know, we wouldn't have a lot of the shit that we have today without them, and that's absolutely true. But I think in terms of their personal evolution and progressive, like their process, they've just been stagnant for so long. They just haven't advanced at all. And in the grand scheme of music and stuff that we have today, they're just far outshined by so many acts. Like in terms of,
I don't know about that one.
You got to admit though, Metallica's been riding the coattails of their success, of their own success, for years. And for somebody like me that I listen to a lot of strange shit, it's just always been, that just always bothered me. It wasn't necessarily that what they made was bad. It's just that like they never advanced themselves. It's like they just put out another record of them doing all the same shit. You know
I think a lot of this album is a little bit more, not a lot of it, but some of it is a lot, you know, maybe a little bit different than what they've done in the past.
They try, and like I do like a couple of them. Like I like Moth into Flame. You know what I mean? Obviously they had Call of Cthulhu off one of the other records, and they have another Cthulhu song on
Dream
this record.
No More.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like they have hints, and I like a couple of those tracks. You know, and it's not necessarily that. It's just, I think overall, as if you're judging them based on what, you know, they've made, are you buying this record because it's actually a progressive, solid record, or are you buying this record because it's Metallica? That's probably like a hard wall for a lot of people to hit. But the reality of it is that Metallica really hasn't. I don't see Metallica having advanced themselves very much over the last several years, like even prior to Death Magnetic, you know. But I mean, that's just an opinion. So I mean, it's, you know.
See, there are reasons here why I think this album is very, very good, and I think that it supersedes Death Magnetic. First of all, the production on Hardwired To Self-Destruct is much better than on Death Magnetic.
Yeah.
Death Magnetic, they had Rick Rubin on for that one, but it's a little bit muffled because I think they turned up the volume knob a little bit too much, like themselves. They turned it up too much on that one. Yeah. This one is perfect. I think the production on this is a lot better. And what I like about this album here is you get a lot of bits and pieces from stuff that they've done in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's a lot of odes to things that
maybe
they've done.
Maybe it's not so much progression-wise. Maybe it is on a few songs here, but like with the kind of title track, Hardwired and Spit Out the Bone, you get that taste of the first four albums of Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice. You get the taste on that one. You get really fast and some thrashy songs on there. And then I feel you get a little bit of the Black Album here with songs like Confusion.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely.
And then even some reload stuff with like Dream No More is on there. Maybe Am I Savage? Like you get that. And then the rest of the album, you get that continuation from where Death Magnetic left off.
Right.
Is what I feel. And that's why I like this album a lot, because it incorporates so much that the band has done.
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think this album is really big for people because it's been so long since they put out
it's a
an
Metallica
album.
record.
It took them a very long time to put this album.
Yeah.
They beat Tool to the punch, but it took them a long time to put out an album.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it's not... Look, I'm not by any means saying that it's, like, bad. I'm just saying that it's just... what you're buying is, like, what you're gonna get. Like, you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be Metallica doing Metallica things. At this point, too, I feel like maybe they're starting to get a little bit slightly more limited. I hear a lot of changes in James Hetfield's voice.
The thing with the older material is James Hetfield's voice was not. You hear that raspiness in his voice in a lot of the older material because he didn't train or he didn't have any technique when he was doing it. But that's what made the old material really great. Was definitely him. There's no question about it. But on this material, he's old. He might be older now, but he's trained himself a lot more to sound a lot different than he's done in previous works. And he sounds pretty good. Yeah,
like I said, without having that training and stuff like that can really seriously damage your voice. So you have to learn how to do that the right way. There's definitely aspects and things here to be enjoyed, but if you're looking for a record where Metallica was going to advance themselves, like that, I just don't think I still don't think it's that record. I think it's a good record, but it's not, it's not going to be.
See, this album is
incredibly progressive.
Is such I think, a very important album for the fans in general.
It is,
but I'd say for the ones that are not so much fans or looking for progression, I don't think this is what it's meant for. This is a band. Metallica is a band that can do whatever they want.
Right.
Like, they put out a video for every single song on this album, which is unheard of.
Yeah.
Nobody does that.
Right.
Like, they made a movie. They've done so much stuff in the past 8 years. They've been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had so much time to. But this is, like I said, this is a band that can do what they want.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, absolutely. They have more power than pretty much any other band on the face of the earth.
That would be my message to the ones like yourself that are looking for progression. Is that
they don't have to.
They don't have to.
I kind of respect that a little bit, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I wave my finger at that a little bit. What you're gonna get is what you're gonna get. You're getting a Metallica record.
Yeah, you absolutely get that.
If you're a hardcore fan, you're probably gonna really enjoy it because you already like Metallica and it's Metallica. You know what I mean? But if you were somebody that was trying to get into Metallica, this isn't the one. And that's the reason why that I kind of have a little dip in that record is because I just feel like that record should be able to stand on one for people to be able to get into. Because a lot of kids would be at the store or something like that, just be like, oh, new Metallica record.
I think last question we'll ask ourselves before we end this review. Alright, since all of the big four have put out an album, who's put out the best?
Megadeth.
You think Megadeth I would put as second. I would put this at the top.
Megadeth. I just think that the Megadeth album was a lot more progressive. And I hate saying that fucking word, but it was solid. It was like, there was new things to be seen there. It was...
Yeah, but I mean, with the Megadeth album, there was new people.
Exactly, new roster. Exactly. It was a fresh kind of, a couple of fresh ideas in there. It really helped. So a lot of these bands do this stuff. A lot of these bands get stuck in that rut. Dude, Slayer does too. Mm-hmm. Anthrax stuck in that rut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For All Kings, they still, it's Anthrax. This is when you buy any one of these big four records, you're gonna get the sound that you know.
Hardwired To Self-Destruct took 8 years to come out. Is it top 10 worthy? We'll see.
We'll see.